Good morning YouTube and welcome back to the channel. My van's been poorly. My van has been running rough. I drove it the other day and it went into limp mode. And I turned the ignition off, turned the ignition back on, drove it for another half hour or whatever, and it went back into limp mode. I think it's a limp mode on these vans, but a loss of power anyway. Like literally no power at all, smoking like mad when I'm driving, like, yeah. So it was a rush to get it home, or tried to rush and get it home. And all week I've been looking into it, trying to find out what it is. I've been on the LT owners sites on Facebook. I've been on the UK LT sites, just trying to do some research and whatever else. I plugged it in the machine. I'm not no mechanic, by the way. There's no advice or nothing here. This is just my experience in it. I've plugged it into the machine and it come up with, at first it come up with the N75 valve. So I thought, okay. And then I run it again and it come up with like 8 different codes. It was like, there's no way something's gone wrong with all of them components. Like, there's no way. A bad earth, a broken earth or connection or whatever else. So I've gone through different earths I can find, undo them, clean them with contact cleaner and whatever else, and all the plugs, taking them off, contact cleaner. Nothing's fixed it yet, but test the power to the N75 valve. If there's power there, then obviously there went a break in the line. That's my thinking. So if there's power going to it and it's still not working, the chances are, or there's a good chance it could be just the N75 valve and there was power going to it. So I've assumed that it's the N75 valve, and I've ordered one on eBay, and it's not the best make. I couldn't find the best make to come as quick. So what I'll do, normally if I'm going to buy sensors and things like that, it would always be like Bosch or Volkswagen or whatever else, because half of the sensors, all the cheap ones, are shit. But hopefully this one, it's not a long-term one. For the sake of 38 quid or whatever, I thought I'd get it, put it on and just see if it fixes it. And that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to change this N75 valve. Fingers crossed. Let's hope it sorts it out. I'm dying to get the van back on the road. So that is the N75 valve. That dirty rusty old thing there. First of all, I'm going to match it up and make sure this new one is the same, even though I went with the same part number, just to make sure. Yep, they look right to me. And it's just starting to rain, obviously. Right, so let me get this old one off and I'll change it over. So these are 10mm, these 2 little nuts. I'll take the plug off. And I'm going to do it like for like, because I don't want to get these 3 wrong. I've fitted it, no different. Same error codes, everything's popped back up. So I'm just going through and using some contact cleaner and going through the plugs and everything else. I've been under the turbo actuators actually moving, so I don't know. We'll carry on. That's all to do with. So just at Euro Car Parts now, obviously the N75 valve didn't work, but I've tested the ECU and the plugs go into the ECU and there's no power. I don't really get that though, because the code reader's still working and there's power going to the N75 valve and everything else. So I don't really understand it, but again, I'm not a mechanic. So just to rule it out, I've gone and got a relay that runs that section. Euro Car Parts, onwards we go. Right, it is, I'm hoping, it's this little shit here. Let me get that changed over. Right, that's the new relay in. I'm going to clear the codes. Let's see where we go. So last vehicle. Ignition on. So I'm just going to go through it quickly. Clear what codes are on it. Oh, if this works. Please, please, please work.
If this don't, to the counter,
Please work. Please. The Lord of LTs, smile down on me. So I've been around the block 2 or 3 times. I'm still driving around now. I just want to stay local in case anything do happen. But I'm driving it around. It feels alright, but it is smoking a little bit still. Now I don't know if that's where, when it was in limp mode and it was smoking like mad, and I just built up a load of shit or what. I don't know. I don't really know, but the only way for me to find out if this is going to work or not is to keep driving it and just trying it. Right, I'm back home. I've been driving for about 25 minutes and it seems to be driving 99% better. So it's not gone into like full limp mode like it was, so I couldn't even drive, it was undrivable. It's not smoking anymore. It's not up and down and whatever else, but it is still a tiny bit flat. Now the engine, I don't know if the phone will pick that sound up, but the engine sounds mint now. But when I drive along, obviously there's no, it's like the booster's a little bit flat. I pulled up. What I'm going to do is put the machine back in just to see if it's throwing any more codes up. So I've just plugged the machine back in. It's running loads better with that new relay, but I've still got a feeling it's going to throw a code back up because it is still a little bit flat. Yeah, it's throwing all the codes back up again. Ah! Okay. It don't make sense. It's driving so much better, but it's throwing all the codes back up. Right. I'll keep you updated. I'm going to have to ring a mechanic. Yeah. I'll keep you updated.